I know, I meant to upload a video yesterday and I'm sorry. I got very confused of what I wanted to talk about to you guys, Bookish Brits. I didn't know if I wanted to do a discussion video on diversity, you know, continue that discussion on, because I think it's important we do talk about diversity in books. I didn't know whether to do a review, I didn't know whether to talk about the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, I didn't know what to talk about. So I kind of flip-flopped a lot of this decision of what I wanted to do for my previous video, which would have been the last video of the month. However, this is my first video of this month, so I'm kind of, so we decided, let's go on with this. Let's talk about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. This came out yesterday on J.K. Rowling's birthday and also on Harry Potter's birthday. Now, the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, this is the script of part 1 and part 2 of the play, which is in London at the present moment in time. It is, hang on, I've got to read this out right because it's very confusing watching and reading reviews and the information's wrong and I go and I cringe. So it is based on the original news story by J.K. Rowling. The play was actually written in script form by Jack Thorne. Jack Thorne is a name that you will be knowing sooner or later because he's written a lot of scripts. He's also writing the scripts for the BBC adaptation of his Dark Materials trilogy, which I think is, so yeah, he's doing that. So I'm very, very excited. So it's kind of worked with J.K. Rowling, Jack Thorne, and the director, which is John Tiffany. So from what I've got from the cover, she came up with the idea, he wrote the script, and John directed the play. So all three of them must have sat down at the table at one point and discussed the plot, the story, how it was going to work on the stage, why it was going to work on the stage, you know, and back and forth and everything like that. It's quite short actually, it's like 300 odd pages. And I read this in a day. I have no willpower. Hello. Not my cat. Okay, you almost saw a whisker of him. You saw whiskers. That's why I stopped. So yes, this is the book that came out yesterday. I've already read it. I know I have no willpower. I have no willpower to read this because there was not a chance in hell I would survive on the internet till the end of September to read this. Not a chance in hell. But a question I want to ask you guys is as fans of the Harry Potter fandom, which I know you guys are, how do we treat this? Because I'm very confused of how I should treat this book. Like, I've read some reviews, I've seen some reviews on YouTube where people are very much saying, treat this as the 8th story. This is the 8th story of Harry Potter. It just happens 19, 20, 21 years later. So it has that gap. However, I have seen other people who have blatantly said, this is literally fanfiction. This is a Slytherin fanfiction's dream. And it is, so, and I'm sort of there in the middle going, how do I treat this? Because, okay, so here's the first one. This is J.K. Rowling's idea. This is J.K. Rowling's characters. She would not, in a million years, have let this go through if she didn't think her characters were doing things that she felt comfortable with. This isn't the story that she would have written if she didn't want it. So if there's any point she hadn't, I mean, she's really powerful now. She would not, in a million years. Hello, baby. This is why I don't YouTube that often. My cat demands my love and my fuss and my attention. But as I was saying, he will come back, just so, you know, cat face. As I was saying, she's really powerful now. She's like one of the most powerful authors in my modern generation. I think she would know if her character did anything out of sort or anything out of character, she would have turned around and gone, that's not happening. This would not work as a story. So she would have put her foot down. But at the same time, flipping it on its head a little bit, there are things in this book which don't feel canon. It does feel like fan fiction. It's one of those odd things I feel very, very weird about. Like, for example, there are several things in the book I kind of accept very, very straightforward and go, yep, that makes sense. Yep, that's fine. I respect the decision made. Sorry, a bit stutter. But then there are other things that happen in this book, and I go, no, that makes no sense. No, that doesn't feel right. No, this doesn't feel right in the world that has been created. No, it feels odd. So how do we proceed with this? How do we, in the Harry Potter fandom, Harry Potter fans, proceed with this, the script? Do we treat this as an official sequel? This is the 8th book, told in play form, because it is in play. I don't want to open the pages, so, but yeah, look, see? There's an act. Act 2, So probably will be a huge spoiler on that page, but meh. So do we treat this as a sequel, like official proper sequel that happens after book 7? Do we treat this as, you know, so therefore if we treat it as official, that is canon, everything that's in the book is canon, do we then, or do we treat this as fanfiction, you know, the completely opposite direction and say it's not linked to the series because it's not a novel form, it's not a book form, it's a play written several years after the event? Or do we treat, so everything that happens in this we dismiss? Or do we treat this as, the best way I can describe it is, say it is authorised fan fiction. So yes, it's fan fiction, yes, everything that happens in here is very fun, fluffy and stuff, but J.K. Rowling has basically said, yep, I approve of this is fine. Because I have very mixed feelings about this, as you can probably tell. It's also very hard not to say anything that might class as a spoiler. So I don't want to spoil you guys, I want to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. But there are a lot of things in here that I do want to discuss, and I do want to talk about, and there is one or two, and I have seen in reviews where people have gone, yeah, and then there are people going, yes, this is great, this is what I was talking about, and then there's other things in there that I want to talk about, and people are going, wait, what? So let's do that. So let's have this discussion. Do we accept this as canon in the Harry Potter series, or do we dismiss it? Does this break the rule of the author is dead? I think I have done a video of that many moons ago. If I can find it, I will link it, or I'll find the term on Wiki and you can read it that way. I do want to do a discussion. There is one or two things in this I really want to discuss, but I can't. So I think I might do a poll on my Twitter, which is, and so the Pewterwall13. I might ask if the person in charge of the Twitter of the Bookish Brits will retweet that, because I think it'll be very interesting to see if you guys want to know about that. If you don't, my opinions on this, we have a nice discussion on it, because we can have a discussion. I mean, we love Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. Harry Potter is my series. When I started reading that, I felt like I had come home. It was kind of just my happy place. But because I love something a lot, doesn't mean I won't criticise it. It won't mean I won't nitpick at it. Because what fan doesn't? Oh, babies are crying next door. Hope it's not linked to me. Anyway, I will leave you with that. So how do we accept the Cursed Child? Do we accept it as canon? Do we not? Do we class it as fanfiction? Do we dismiss it because of the term the author is dead? Again, leave that below. Or how do we treat this? How do we treat this, you guys? Guys, I do ask though, if you are going to leave comments down below, which I really hope you do, make them spoiler free. I really do not want to deal with people mentioning this huge spoiler and then having this massive comments of people down below going, I haven't read this yet, I haven't seen it yet, I want to be spoiled. Let's just act like we haven't read the book. So let's talk about it, but let's be spoiler free, because I'm going to see the play, and I want to be surprised when I see the play. That's why I read the book, weirdly, because I want to see how the production goes. So yes, spoiler free comments, leave them all down below. I would love to know your opinions. I hope you all have a lovely day. I hope you keep reading, and I am so sorry for not posting this yesterday. So until fortnight's time? I might do another video on Sunday, depending on how the vote goes, but yeah, we shall see. Anyway, sorry for crashing Julianne's... yeah, sorry for crashing today, my lovely queen of hats, but yes. So, bye guys. Oh, and if you've been recovering from Yelk, how was it? Leave comments down below about Yelk as well, so bye!